What's up, my Essential Unit? It's the Central here. So this is my review of Monday Night Raw for the 28th of April, 1997. This episode of Raw was in Omaha, Nebraska. I like this episode, a bit downgrade than the previous week's episode of Raw. This show kicks off of Brian Pillman coming down to the ring. This is Brian Pillman's first appearance on Raw since 1996. He made his return last week, attack Stone Cold Steve Austin. His first appearance on Raw since 1996. Since the whole segment with Brian Pillman got a gun trying to threaten to shoot Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was cool. So Pillman's promo, I don't want to get in details of it. So he's basically praying. He just want to. He's like it's. I don't know, man. People say he finds a way to piss off people to get some heat. So the people were booing Pillman. I don't wrote it down. He said he had a proceedable moment. There's a sensitive side of Brian Pillman. I played that footage from last week over and over in my head. He wants everyone to pray for Bret Hart. And he said about pray a lot of Americans, our great land. Was it Saber, the blood and violence? I don't know. I don't want to get into it. That's a mistake doing that. Like WWE throughout the years doing the basically making fun of religion. It's just like you don't want to do that. You just end up like pissing off and alienating the people that watching the show. It's just like why they did that. Basically says Saber the violence and was it blood and violence that's pervade this society. He kind of brought down a bit. He said about praying for the annihilation and destruction of Stone Cold Steve Austin, smack him down, never perform the craft of evil. Trying to get to the key points. Some of it's a bit rambling. I don't want to get into it. Otherwise, this review will be much longer. So, and then Austin cuts him off. He was on the Titantron. And Austin says, for once in my life, I don't have anything to talk about. You better pray. Don't let me come in here and kick your ass. Speaking of Saber, it was a saviors. Basically, he called it. Pillman called Bret Hart the savior of WWE. Savior. Jesus Christ, the savior of WWE. And Austin says, speaking of saviors, Bret Hart's not coming around to save your ass. And he's trying to come down to the ring, and then you got Owen and Bulldog come to the rescue. Austin managed to escape the ring, and then Pillman, Bulldog, Owen basically praying for Bret. And then Austin, I think he went in some kind of room, grabbed an axe, and trying to kill Pillman, Owen Hart, and Davey Boy Smith, but the handle fell off, and then Austin run back to the ring, chase Pillman, Owen, and Davey out of the ring. He grabbed the mic, says, the Lord has your souls. Your ass is mine, and that was it. So, and then also there was another scene, Pillman praying privately for Bret. So I don't know, this whole praying stuff. People, this is for me. This is before my time. I was around. I'm going to be 28 next month, but I was about a toddler. I was like 2, going on 3 years old. I don't remember it, but this whole stuff was kind of like it's. I don't say tasteless. It's just not my cup of tea. And during that praying segment for Pillman, it says that for was it to all who to all who insults the the dastardly action of Stone Cold Steve Austin, I forgive. Yeah, this whole praying stuff. I'm not really crapping on religion, but it's just like religion had no business in pro wrestling. It's just like you don't want to piss off the wrong people. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'm trying to like cut it, break it down to key points. Otherwise, I don't. If I remember all of it, it'll be a very long review of it. I'm trying to keep the promo segments short and simple. Sometimes I don't remember some of the lines, what they're saying in the promos. So yeah, it said about like you know, you know. I think it said rejoice of the savage brutality last week's show. I forget them, something like that. So anyway, so the first match of this Monday Night Raw, we got Flash Funk taking on Rockabilly. That's badass Billy Gunn. This was filler. Some of these matches were filler. It's just what it is. Don't get it's just what it is. Just a typical TV wrestling match. Anyway, so short and simple. Flash Funk is 2-core Scorpio from ECW. He did like a move off the top rope. I think it was a crossbody. In the end, Flash Funk wins. He rolls up Rockabilly, and then you had Flash Funk confronting the honky top man. Billy Gunn hits Flash Funk with the guitar, and that was it. So they're trying to build up Billy Gunn. He's had the dark hair. This Rockabilly shit's fucking stupid. To me personally, they always give Billy Gunn some crappy gimmicks over the years. Like I like the smoking guns. That looks cool with But besides that, the one Billy Gunn, Mr. Ass, the whole. Some people praise the whole storyline with Chuck Palumbo and him, the gay gimmick, but I don't know, man. They just like trying to find he's known for his character, less than known for his wrestling. So that's why it's basically the best of times and the worst of times for Billy Gunn in the WWF/WWE. So then we got Bret Hart's promo during like the Flash Funk Rockabilly match. You had Bret, coming out on an ambulance wearing his street clothes after the events of last week's Raw when Austin injured Bret's knee. Like I said, I'm gonna break down the key points of Bret Hart's promo. Otherwise, it's gonna be a very long promo. Anyway, so he calling the American wrestling fans hyenas. I give I give Brian Pillman what he does. Praying on his knee, like laying on his knees, praying. Something about like hyena, like referring to Austin. He keeps calling Austin a hyena. One stinking rotten hyena breaks through and kill a lion. And referring to him as a lion, he says, the real lion, the king of the jungle, like me. This lion's not killed but wounded. Yeah, he called Austin a scum of America. Yeah, and he called the American wrestling fans scum. They care about blood and violence, and they were chanting USA, USA, and Bret just slightly kind of smiles, says, "Go ahead, chant USA. My mother's American," and it's kind of true. Bret's half American because he's Canadian but has an American mother. You can. Anyway, it's like Chris Jericho. I think Jericho is half American. He born in New York City, but he grew up in Canada. That's Jericho. Anyway, so he called us Shawn Michaels scum. He said like I used to be a hero to the people. Used to be stand up the truth. What it gets me, what did I get? All the years in service. And also, he said about like this ambulance I ride along, when the night is out, someone's gonna ride to the hospital, like guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels. Instead of like all your people, they're going to drool, bulge their eyes, grind their teeth, and clench their fists. you know, because they're like, you know, I think they call them, you know, you know, what's that word? Bloodthirsty. I think they call it like, I can't remember. Moving on. I had it, but I don't have it. Anyway, so he said like the Heart Foundation is giving it out instead of receiving it, referring to an ass kicking. He calls the American wrestling fans, "You make me sick," and that was it. I had it some, you know, I don't write things down. I just write, you know, the matches and the segment down, but not all the segment down. I don't do that, you know. Sorry, my apologies, but for me, I got learning difficulties, man. Sometimes I don't remember that when I'm reviewing a wrestling show or a movie or a TV show. I'm trying to remember the dialogue, but I had it, but I couldn't. I think he said like, I think Brett just probably said you're bloodthirsty. You know, he's basically like Americans like bloodthirsty, bloodthirsty. I think he's referring to people they just like bloodthirsty shit. So yeah, yeah, and that was the end of the segment. So, so the next match we got LOD or the Road Warriors. That's Hawk and Animal. They're taking on the team of Doug Furnace and Phil LaFon. There was a split screen interview. They said like I think LaFon or Furnace says, I don't know. We take pictures, we sign autographs. They didn't realize we're real international superstars. I think he said they had their home game was it every day, every night they wrestle. Where the difference between us. We're wrestlers. We don't dress like clowns. If we have the same treatment, we end up being tag team champions. So the match was shit. It was okay. It was more showcasing LOD. The crowd in this match was dead. No, a single pin drop. In the end, LOD got the victory. I think it was Hawk hit like a flying clothesline onto Furnace or LaFon for the win. And then afterwards, you got Jim Ross interviewing both Furnace and LaFon. And I think they said they want a rematch, so let's move on. And also, I'm not going to get into this. I wrote down the Ahmed Johnson segment. They bring up last week's match between Ahmed Johnson and the Sultan. Brings up the Nation of Domination. I don't want to get into it. It is one nitpick about Ahmed Johnson. They're trying to build him up, but there's two things why he never got like a fair share in the WWF or WWE. He always getting hurt, but at the same time, I think the one thing also hurt him. He lacks his mic skills. He couldn't understand what he's saying. He said about like I'm a gangster. You want to see me crazy. You want to see crazy. I'm gonna be crazy. Something like that. I don't know. I can't understand what Ahmed Johnson's saying. He's just like he's not really a good talker. That's the reason why he's never got like a good push in the company. They're trying to push him. He gets hurt, and also at the same time, he's not really a good talker. So that's why I put it on why I wrote it down beats me. So the next match, this is the only title match on the show. We got Rocky Maivia, the Future Rock, defending the Intercontinental title against Owen Hart. Owen dedicate his match to his brother Brett. Brett Bulldog on the stage. The match was decent. It was a 9-minute match. It was back and forth between Owen and Rock. Rock and Owen are future members of the Nation of Domination. They'll become the Nation in '98. In the end, Owen got the victory. Rolled up Rocky Maivia for the win. You can tell the fans are they're not really booing the Rock, but at the same time they're kind of like silent. You can tell. I don't know if they edit out "Die Rocky Die," "Rocky Sucks" chant off the network. I don't know, but you can tell like the fans again sick of Rock. You can tell like not sick of Rock. You can tell like the whole Rocky Maivia thing. It's kind of like run its course. You know, he became part of the Nation of Domination later on in the year. So afterwards, Owen got the title. I think this is Owen's first. I might be wrong about this. I think this is Owen's first singles belt victory for him, because most of so far in his run, his second run in the company, he was a tag team guy. Yeah, he's only yeah, this is his title match, but the only two accolades, non-title accolades he won was the 1994 King of the Ring tournament, and also he become, you know, a two-time winner. Two-time Slammy Award winner. It was 96, 97, but most of the time he won the tag team belts. He won it with Yokozuna. He won it with his brother-in-law Davey Boy Smith. But so far he's never won like a single championship belt. You know, because at the time, you know, you had the World Wrestling Federation Championship. Because I think Owen lost to his brother Brett at SummerSlam in 1994. Yeah, the world title, you had the IC title, and now they introduced the European title, so that's 3 singles belts. Yeah, then also going to introduce the light heavyweight title, but I don't want, that's another topic for another time. And also the following year they introduced the hardcore title. So yeah, Owen went on to become the European champion later on, really in 1998. But yeah, I think this is his first singles title victory in his career, and it was good, you know. And afterwards, you had Brett smiled, and also during that promo from earlier, he said the best there is, the best there is, the best it was, the best ever will be. He said it again, and then you had Owen. Owen said, "How about that victory lap?" And then the Bulldog go, "Yes, I told you." And that was it. So and then we got Stone Cold Steve Austin promo. I'm gonna revert what he's saying, not really Austin's work. And also going back to Brett's promo, he said about Stone Cold Steve Austin is the fans' people, and then Austin like bring it up, says, when I look in the mirror, your people. So it brings up like the Hearts, you know, the sign to see the last time you see Stone Cold Steve Austin becoming the WWF champion or World Wrestling Federation champion. He cut it towards the Undertaker, says, you know, on the 11th of May, this is going to be the coldest day in hell. I'm going to whoop your ass. I'm going to be the World Wrestling Federation champion. That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. Then you got Owen. So you got Brett and the Hart Foundation. You know, that's Owen. Owen and Bulldog. He said, "Remember I ride along that ambulance earlier tonight? When the night is out, you're going to be riding it, busting up in pieces." And that's the bottom line. So yeah, this is built around between Austin and the Hart Foundation. I'll get to more of that at the end of this review. So then we got this segment with Ken Shamrock. You know, I understand why they're building up Ken Shamrock as a big deal. You know, it's like a motivation video. I think he said like I set challenges. I don't like failure. You know, the WWF, it's a difficult challenge I ever had. And there's some scenes like Ken is like doing like he's in the ring doing ring, I think it was like ring drills, and then he's lifting weights. There was one footage of him walking his dog with his he's with his family, you know, with his wife, probably his wife and his kids and his dog. I don't know what dog is that. That was cool. I've been trying to get more about Ken Shamrock. You know, Ken Shamrock, it's a shame he's not in the Hall of Fame. I don't know. He's in the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame, but not in the WWE Hall of Fame. He should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. For one example, you know, he's the mastermind of making people tapping out. You know, before that, when someone lock in the submission hold, you submit. You know, as the referee asks you, do you submit? And the referee called the bell. When Shamrock did it, you know, he started making people tapping out. You know, he needs to be in that Hall of Fame one day. So he doesn't really get any respect. You know, he never got any credit. You know, I don't think he left on bad terms with the company. It's a shame that he never made a return to the company. I know it's too little too late right now. You know, he's too old at this moment in time. He should have came back probably in the Ruthless Aggression era about probably 0203. You know, it's a damn shame. You know, he's a good worker. He's a good maybe he lacks charisma. That's why he's never got like a fair crack in the company. Yeah, he's King of the Ring winner in '98 and he was the Intercontinental Champion. But yeah, it's a shame he never got like a fair shot as a world champion. So he's just one of the best wrestlers. Um, never to become a world champion. The one dream match they never had, I think for people who want to see, the dream match that we're never going to see is Ken Shamrock versus Kurt Angle. That'd be good. It's funny that you know Kurt Angle made it, you know, made his debut in the company, Ken Shamrock was already left the company. It's a shame, you know. That could be a dream match, you know, but unfortunately, you know, has to do with timing. So anyway, um, so the next match we got Jesse James. That's yeah, the future Road Dogg taking on Vader, and also the bring up Vader's incident in Kuwait. You know, he slapped. I wrote in reporter instead of journalist or slash interviewer. He basically he put his hands on it, you know, because that report says wrestling is fake. You know, I think he did go in jail. Yeah, he's out right now. Otherwise, he's still be in jail. But anyway, so this is just a squash match. You know, Vader got the victory. Hit the Vader bomb onto Jesse James for the win. Then you got Jim Ross. Basically confronting Vader. You know, of the incident in Kuwait. You know, Vader says, you know, I'll say it once. I'm not apologize for nothing. You know, I don't want to be insulted by you and him back there with Vince. You know, Vince. The two guys were interviewing our interviews at the time were Vince and Jr. He basically basically made one. I'm gonna finish what I started in Kuwait. You know, he basically trying to attack Jim Ross. You know, take his he gonna remove his cowboy hat, took off his glasses. He kind of choked JR's sorry, bit of a tongue twisting moment. My apologies. And then he thought he could attack Jim Ross, but instead Ken Shamrock came to the rescue. He grabbed the mic, says, you know, I think he said, when we get to this ring, this is not going to be Vader time. This is going to be hard time. So he's building up the match at Cold Day in Hell. We'll get to Cold Day in Hell some other time. I don't know. That will be next week, folks. You know, next weekend this week that's next weekend because this weekend I'm reviewing Judgment Day 2002. You know, you have to be a little bit patient. So I'm trying to get the go home show, then moving on to Cold Day in Hell. Anyway, so that was it. So afterwards you had the next match we got Goldust versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That's Triple H. Goldust doesn't want Marlena to be at ringside, you know, and she did show up. The match was okay. It was an okay match, you know. Like one more of the match, you know, the referee did not see Chyna stumping on Goldust. But then Marlena came to the rescue. I'm trying to keep it short and simple, folks. So in the end, you had Goldust basically nudge Chyna, and then Marlena throw the white powder in the face of Chyna. And then Chyna's blind. Instead of grabbing Marlena or Goldust is Dustin Runnels. Dustin Runnels. That's his actually real name. It's not Rhodes, it's Runnels. So instead of Marlena and Goldust, he accidentally attacked Helmsley, grabbed him by the throat, and picked him up. I was shocked. Like, holy crap, Chyna is super strong. And Chyna's tall. Like, I don't know. I think she's about almost 6 feet tall. You know, people, like, give Chyna the cold shoulder. May has to do, oh yeah, she did porn. Who gives a shit, you know? You got a lot of wrestlers do, like, completely, like, bad shit over the years. Like, Jimmy Snuka killed a woman. That's Nancy Argentino. You had Sunny doing porn as well. But, you know, I think she's just frustrated about the business. that's another topic for another time. So the match ended in DQ. It's just whatever, just still throwing up the rivalry between Goldust and Helmsley, because Helmsley went on to face Mankind, feud with Mankind later on in the year. So I think this rivalry needs to be like needs to needs to do like a rubber match. So so moving on to the you had Vince interview the Undertaker. They're bringing up like the whole stuff with Undertaker setting fire to the face of Paul Bearer. I think he said about like no one deserved to have their fate. Was it flesh? What's this? Jesus Christ! I had it. I had it. So I'm gonna slow down again. I need a drink, man. My throat's a bit dry. So yeah, Undertaker says about no one deserves having their flesh burnt off their faces, off his face, like flesh off their faces, something like that. In the old says, who covers the fire will get burnt. I'm sorry, I can't remember that well. Jesus Christ, I had it and then man, I don't had it. Anyway, so he also said Steve Austin is had some. I think it's like Austin had some momentum. You know, don't you know? Don't distract. You know, there's worsen. I don't know. Can't remember the fucking promo that well. He ended with rest in peace. Said like Austin, don't get distracted. Something like that. Can't remember. Like sometimes, man, I need to write down the promos, man. Otherwise, it'll drive me nuts, man. You know, yeah, he said like I remember the whole, you know, who covers the flames or who covers the fire will get burnt. But I think yeah, I'm trying to say it again. So I think it says yeah, Austin gets momentum. I remember that, but you know, it's not their best work. You know, sometimes unforgettable. You know, he said like Austin, yeah, he say, you know, he said about like Austin, you know, Austin, don't get distracted, or you're gonna get worse than your face. Sorry, I don't remember the promo. It's not really Undertaker's best promos. They've been better Undertaker promos over the years, before and after this. So yeah, and there's rest in peace, and that was it. So anyway, so moving on to the main event, we got this is a champion versus champion match. We got the World Wrestling Federation champion, The Undertaker, taking on the one half of the WWF Tag Team Champion and also the current European Champion, David Boy Smith, the British Bulldog. Bulldog declared his match to Brett, you know, introduce his wife Diana. The match is just short, by the way, it's just short. You know, Bulldog is also, I said China's strong, but Bulldog's also strong. He picked up, I think Bulldog's about 6 foot. Undertaker's 6'10", almost 7 feet tall. He's just picked him up. Try to keep it short and simple. It was a short match, by the way. So, anyway, so in the end, Undertaker chokeslammed Bulldog. He was going for the Tombstone Power Driver. Then Owen came to the ring. The match ended disqualification. I think he had 2 disqualification in one night. You know, it's just what it is. I don't want to be fucking angry. So basically Bulldog and Owen attacked Undertaker, and then Austin came to the rescue. You know, he chased down both Owen and Bulldog. Then he grabbed the World Wrestling Federation title belt, raised it in the air. Then he dropped it down. He kind of thrown the title belt onto Undertaker, and then he hit Taker with the Stone Cold Stunner, and then Undertaker chokes on Austin. I'll get to, you know, the build to this shortly. I'm trying to talk about the end of this show. Austin basically crawled out of the ring, going after Brett. Then we got the return of Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Brett's former tag team partner in the 1980s, and then, you know, attacked him. And then I think he hit Austin with one of Brett's crutches, and then Brett stand up and hit Austin with the crutch. Austin fell off the stage. And I think there was paramedics and referees put Austin on the stretcher, and the show was off the air. So this whole Austin, the build to Cold Day in Hell for the world title match between Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Boy, there was no build to this. There is no build. They're not even fighting. They had that whole moment like they got to face each other because Austin's number one contender. And also, and earlier it says you think I'm going in the ambulance, you know, I can't remember Austin's promo. There's one mentioned that promo earlier. It says like oh yeah, I think he said, you think I'm going in the ambulance? I'm gonna put one of your asses in it. So yeah, I remember that. But anyway, so this whole build between Austin and Undertaker, it's non-existent because it's like, yeah, you got this whole stuff like confrontation. One hits the stunner, one hits the choke slam. But yeah, Undertaker at this moment in time was a third wheel. It's more between Austin and the Hart Foundation. So anyway, so I give this show a 7 out of 10. Like I said, a downgrade from the previous week's episode of Raw. Yeah, I don't say go ahead and watch this episode of Raw. Nothing in the back. It's just DQs, filler matches. It's good to, the Hart Foundation is now basically all together. You had Brett, Owen, Bulldog, Neidhart, and Pillman. But besides that, I'm not saying it's mediocre, but it was still a fun show to watch. The Pillman stuff, I'm not gonna put it in the okay, the good, okay, and bad. To be honest, it doesn't really do nothing for me. So anyway, so hope you enjoy my review of the 28. Yeah, hope you enjoy my review of the 28th of April's episode. 28th of April 1997 episode of Monday Night Raw. Sorry, bit of a tongue twister moment. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, smash the like button, click the bell, click the like, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube, be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. And this is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later, folks.